comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
Ooh, what's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko podcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, it is actually the second time in a Funko podcast history where we have an all Funko Soda podcast, which I know last week on the pod, I did say that we were going to talk about the first set of August 2021 announcements. However, there was only 6 announcements for Pops last week. And we felt even with the What's the Hap segment, there wouldn't be enough time as terms to what we usually do for the minimum requirement for the podcast to actually pull off a decent podcast. So we thought, let's bring back the Funko Soda podcast because the first edition that we did actually is one of our most viewed podcasts in a Funko podcast history, which it wasn't that long ago that we actually did the first one, which for this podcast, of course, we are going to be talking about these Funko Sodas, but we will talk about the Funko Pops for the first set of August 2021 announcements next week on the pod. Since this week, as we're recording this, there has been some decent amount of announcements being laid out since last week was the FunKon exclusives being released. So it's understandable why it was a little bit slow last week. So that'll be next week that we talk about the first set of August 2021 announcements. But without further ado, these announcements will range from the Funkoween reveals, more specifically, not including Vampire Freddy, because that was actually the last soda we talked about on the last edition, which if you guys want to go listen to that last edition of the soda edition of a Funko podcast, little suggestion thingy above to go view that, where we talked about from Funko Fair until the early Funkoween reveal. But right now, we'll talk about the first set, which will be on your screen at this point, which first off, May 24th, Funko had announced a soda of Vampire Mickey with the black and white chase, which this will be limited to 15,000 pieces. Sully from Monsters, Inc., which has a flock chase and will be limited to 12,500 pieces. Harley Quinn Demon and Beryl from The Nightmare Before Christmas, which Harley Quinn Demon has a glow-in-the-dark chase, and Beryl has an unmasked chase, which both are limited to 10,000 pieces. Then on May 25th, Funko had announced some single ad icon Funko sodas, which we got a metallic Count Chocula, glow-in-the-dark Boo Berry, and a flocked Fruit Brute, all three being 5,000 pieces and will be exclusive to the Funko shop. On May 26th, Funko had announced a Peter Venkman soda from Ghostbusters, which has a slime chase and will be limited to 12,500 pieces. Ash from The Evil Dead, which will have a bloody chase and will be limited to 10,000 pieces. Dwight Schrute from The Office, which will have a pumpkin head chase, which will be limited to 12,500 pieces. Then on May 28th, Funko had announced a soda of The Corpse Bride, which has a glow-in-the-dark chase and limited to 10,000 pieces. Frankenstein Jr. from Hanna-Barbera, which has a metallic chase and it's limited to 7,500 pieces. And then Space Ghost from Scooby-Doo, which will have a glow-in-the-dark chase and will also be limited to 7,500 pieces. So kicking off with the Vampire Mickey, this is a pretty decent Funko soda. I like, the black and white chase in a way, because I guess it kind of goes with that Halloween theme a little bit, but I would prefer the common more than the chase. And there was a lot of controversy over this one because, and it actually is in our glam shot that we actually have here, where originally Funko had announced this as a limited edition 1,500 piece soda. And people were just putting pre-orders up on eBay thinking, oh, there's going to be a ton of money, until Funko actually posted another photo revealing that it was a typo and it's actually 15,000 pieces. So there's people who were disappointed, probably mostly flippers thinking they can make money off of this Funko soda. Sully from Monsters, Inc. I cannot wait to get this Funko soda. I'm hoping between MD and I, we'll get like 3 of them to see if each of us will get a common and then one of us gets a chase, or maybe we'll do 4 because maybe we'll get 2 commons and 2 chases. Who knows? But this is great. Totally makes sense for it to be a flock chase, nothing else. Maybe a scary face. I can't wait to get this. And I can only imagine the flocking is going to look excellent on this soda. The Nightmare Before Christmas sodas of Harley Quinn Demon and Beryl. Harley Quinn Demon's all right. I mean, you can't really do much with the characters, so I'm not surprised that they made it a glow-in-the-dark chase. And I think they also did a Funko Pop that was a glow-in-the-dark also, so it makes sense that they made the chase the glow-in-the-dark because of the previous Funko Pops they've done. The barrel is a pretty sweet Funko soda, honestly. I like the masked and unmasked variants. I don't know which one I like better, though, whether it's the common or the chase variant, because both of them look excellent with essentially the mask and unmasked, considering that the body mold is still the same and same with the paint job, but it's the face that's different. Then we got ourselves the Ad Icon Funko sodas of Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Fruit Brute, which I'll start off with the Count Chocula. I'm not really a fan of this particular Funko soda. I think the other Funko soda they made was better, where you have the normal Count Chocula with the Boo Berry themed chase. I think that was a little bit better. I don't know why they made it like a separate soda now, making it a less piece count than the original one and then make it metallic. I feel like even though it will sell out because it's Ad Icons and it's going to the Funko shop, just personally, I don't know. I would not want to cop for this. The Boo Berry. Now, I wasn't really a fan of how the Boo Berry turned out as terms of the common and the chase from the one that was released, I believe it was the 12 Days of Christmas last year. But this soda, in my opinion, is way better than the Boo Berry we got in December. I think the way that they chose this color and made it glow in the dark looks excellent, in my opinion. I felt like the colors were a little off as far as I remember from the original Funko soda. So I think it's definitely an improvement for this one. And then we have Fruit Brute, which this one's pretty cool also. I do like the idea of Fruit Brute being flocked, and I think a lot of people will definitely get this, but I don't like it because I actually liked the colorways in the original ones that they did for WonderCon last year in 2020. Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters. This definitely makes sense. They already did Egon Spangler. They've done Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for Ghostbusters. It was only a matter of time that they did Peter Venkman, although I thought they were going to do that one first as terms of the four main Ghostbusters, but it's cool that they did it now. Ash from Evil Dead. This is a pretty decent Funko soda. And I think I actually mentioned on our Funkoween edition of a Funko Popcast that I actually do like the way they had the bloody soda rather than the bloody pop, because the bloody pop kind of reminds me of that like Ghostface Scream mask where you would just pump the blood and it pours down your face instead of an actual splatter of blood like they have in this Funko soda. So I really do enjoy this Funko soda, and I think the chase would be sweet to own. The Dwight Schrute Funko soda, which I am pumped about this. This is also one of those soda cans that I'm probably going to get like 3, maybe 4 of just to get my chance at that chase, and for the fact that it's an office soda can. And I'm glad they decided to go with Dwight Schrute first as terms to the characters for the office. They could have went with something random like they've been doing with a lot of this Funko sodas. The Corpse Bride, this is pretty decent. This is one of those sodas I feel I would only get one. If it's the chase, then okay, that's cool, but I'm still fine if it's the common, and I won't go out and grab a second one to go get the chase. Frankenstein Jr., this is decent. I don't really know much about Frankenstein Jr., but I do think it probably makes sense for it to be a metallic chase, because assuming it looks to be a robot, in my opinion. So, of course, it had to make sense to make it a metallic chase. And then we got the Space Ghost from Scooby-Doo, which is also pretty cool for the fact of what they're advertising the glow in the dark to be. It looks like for the common, it'll be like inside the either its helmet or hood. I can't really tell. I'm going to assume it's a helmet that is black, but when it glows, it's red, which I think is unique because you don't really get that kind of glow in the dark all that often. And then when the blue glows, it's going to end up being like a light blue. So I'm really excited to see this. Maybe we'll get 1 or 2 of them for an eventual can cracking of some Funko sodas part 2, I guess, because a lot of people actually want us to do a part 2 from that 50 soda cans video that we did not too long ago.
Starting off with the Vampire Mickey, this is a pretty cool soda. I really do like the common, but I kind of wish they would have taken the approach with the chase that they did with that Freddy Funko that we've seen recently, where the common is the vampire and then the chase would have been like a skeleton, for example. I think that would have been really, really cool. This chase is okay, I guess, being black and white, but I feel like if you bought one can and you got the chase, you'd kind of be like, damn. Like, okay, cool, I got a chase, but at the same time, the common is definitely a lot better. Sully is amazing. This figure looks awesome. The colors for the can work so perfectly. And to top it off, it is a flocked chase, which is one of my favorite things. And I really, really hope I can pull this flocked Sully. The Nightmare Before Christmas. These are all right. The Harley Quinn Demon, it's a pretty cool figure. And yeah, I guess it makes sense to be glow in the dark considering Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of a darker themed movie. So to have it be glow in the dark just makes a lot of sense. Barrel is really cool. I like the unmasked version. I also do like the masked version. It's a toss up. I kind of wish there was something else just besides the unmasking. Maybe if it was, let's say, a different item in the hand as well with the chase, I think that would have made this really, really nice. Then we have the add icons. The Count Chocula metallic. It's all right. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, I did enjoy the original and obviously the Booberry one. Then speaking of Booberry, we have the glow in the dark, and this is awesome. I think this is going to turn out very, very well. I definitely want to get my hands on one of these because I feel like it'd be a lot easier to get my hands on one of these than the original can at this point. Then the Fruit Brute is also really, really nice. I enjoy the fact that it's flocked, and I'll definitely be picking up one of those. Peter Venkman, this is pretty nice. This looks good. This is a good looking soda can. And you can tell it's Bill Murray. Ash from Evil Dead, this is all right. It is cooler than the pop. I do agree with DK that the blood looks a lot better with this soda than with the pop, but I kind of wish there was, again, something else with the chase, just something a little bit more different than just a little bit of extra paint added to the figure. Dwight Schrute is awesome. The common is wicked. The chase is also really wicked. I'm just wondering why they went with that colorway for the soda can. This is something I always look at with soda cans. What colors they go with for the soda logo, and then obviously the name banner, I guess is what you'd call it. And I'm not really sure why they went with that color, but at the same time, what colors are they really going to go with? Are they going to go with brown and then a lighter brown for Dwight? I don't know. Obviously they didn't. So I think it looks good overall, and we're definitely going to be picking up a few of these. The Corpse Bride, this is cool, and I agree with DK exactly, where I might buy one of these, and if I end up with the common, that's fine. If I end up with the chase, that's cool too. The same thing goes for Frankenstein Jr. I mean, this soda really reminds me of the Rosie because it's just a slight difference with it being metallic and something that's not too noticeable, I guess. But it's still pretty cool. But I think if I got the common, I'd be happy with that. Space Ghost is pretty cool. I mean, I definitely want to see some more of the main characters, I guess, from Scooby-Doo in soda form, but getting the villains is pretty neat, and Space Ghost is a cool character. I'm excited to see what this soda looks like in person because I'm not sure if they're going to go with like a clear dome over the top. It's kind of hard to tell by the glam shots. I think that would be neat, but at the same time, it seems like it's not going to be that way because of the red that we're seeing. But I definitely think that the chase for this is pretty solid.
Are you looking for great pop protectors? Then look no further than popbox.ca. They have a variety of 4-inch and 6-inch protectors in different quantities. Do you want to get 10 protectors, 20? You can get even up to 250 pop protectors over on popbox.ca. And also use our promo code of Funko Popcast for 10% off of your entire purchase of pop protectors. The code is going on until supplies last. So go get your pop protector needs now over on popbox.ca using our code of Funko Popcast to get 10% off and also free shipping over $75 in both Canada and the US with duty fees included.
And let me tell you guys, we're not just screwing around here. These are some great pop protectors. We own a multitude of these protectors. They are some of the best I've seen. Stop buying from EB Games. I'm not boycotting EB Games by any means, but their pop protectors are not as good. So again, use code Funko Popcast for 10% off.
All right, so the next set of sodas we're going to talk about kicking off on June 1st, along with the Shang-Chi Funko Pops, is a Shang-Chi Funko soda, which has a metallic chase and will be limited to 15,000 pieces. Then on June 11th, Funko had announced a huge set of Funko sodas, which is kicking off. We have Stinkor from Masters of the Universe, which has a scented chase, in which this is going to be limited to 8,000 pieces. Followed by Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers, which has a splatter chase, which will also be limited to 8,000 pieces. Gladiator Hulk from Thor Ragnarok, which has a helmet chase, will be limited to 15,000 pieces. Baxter Stockman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which will have a glow-in-the-dark chase and is limited to 10,000 pieces. Bazooka Joe with a bubblegum chase, in which this is going to be limited to 7,500 pieces. Steamboat Mickey, which will have a whistle chase and will be limited to 15,000 pieces and is exclusive to the Funko shop. Then from Super Friends, we have Janya and Zan, which will have, I guess I'm going to call them evil chases, in which both of these will be limited to 8,000 pieces each. Quake from, of course, the cereal of Quake, which will have a chase of him holding a box of cereal and will be limited to 10,000 pieces. And then on July 9th, Funko had announced a Funko soda of Captain Carter for the new series of What If, which this has a metallic chase and will be limited to 12,500 pieces. So kicking off with the Shang-Chi Funko soda, I feel like this may be one of the most basic sodas that Funko has done. You do a basic pose and then you just make it a metallic chase. I'm not really a fan of this. Like, I'm excited for the movie coming out, but I felt like with this soda, you could have done a little better. Like, maybe if you look at the pops they have done where you have Shang-Chi doing like a kick, maybe it would have been cool to even do like a kick with this Funko soda, because you haven't really seen that kind of a pose on a Funko soda before, instead of using the same arms to the side mold like it's a 2011, 2012 pop, and then just slapping a different specification for the chase. Stinkor from Masters of the Universe. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this actually might be the first ever scented Funko soda, which is cool. They did the Stinkor Funko Pop, I think, for San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago. And it's also cool because the colorway is a bit different, but I don't know how I feel about them removing the shield, honestly. But overall, I think there's going to be people that are going to want to get this soda. Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers. Now, I didn't know what to call the chase, which I called it splatter because I don't think it's blood, honestly, because it's orange, but it could be some sort of like alien goo. I don't exactly know because I haven't seen Starship Troopers yet. Gladiator Hulk. I kind of find it weird that for the first Funko soda of Hulk, they did Gladiator Hulk. I mean, that was a pretty decent scene in Thor Ragnarok, but I don't know. I thought getting like a classic Hulk would have been sweet as a Funko soda before you get this random variant of Hulk, but I'm sure people are still going to get it. And I'm sure also that that Gladiator outfit of the chase is going to be metallic, I assume, because I can't see why they wouldn't make it metallic. Baxter Stockman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is pretty decent. I am liking the idea of potentially when this glows in the dark, it's going to be, well, obviously green, but like the parts that aren't green are going to be the ones that glow in the dark, like the purple, I guess, wings or arms. I can't exactly remember. And then like part of the face and hair is also going to be green. So this is going to be decent. And I can definitely see MD wanting to get this Funko soda because he's already gotten some of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sodas. And I'm sure after trying to obtain the original 4 Ninja Turtles sodas that he's going to want to keep continuing, and especially getting the Baxter Stockman. Bazooka Joe, I think this is pretty decent. And I think this is one of those sodas that you would probably want to get the chase because, of course, Bazooka, I assume, is a bubblegum brand. So it'd be really cool to get that chase where he's essentially blowing a bubble. So I think that's pretty decent. Otherwise, it's like if you get the common, it'll be a little disappointing, in my opinion. Steamboat Mickey. Now, out of these sodas that we are talking about today on the podcast, I feel like this is like in the top 5 favorites for me. I don't know what it is. I know it's obviously like Steamboat Willie, but they're switching the name to Steamboat Mickey for some reason. I don't know. I feel like either one you get, you'd be satisfied with. The common is really cool. You got like that happy face of Mickey Mouse, and it's black and white, which makes sense for the Steamboat Willie, or Mickey in this case, character. But then it'd be like really cool if you were able to obtain that chase where he's essentially blowing a whistle, which would be really, really cool. And it's weird that they did make this a Funko Shop exclusive because Pop Culture on their website is accepting pre-orders right now for this soda on their website, which I don't know if that's like a mistake and they haven't really realized that yet, and it's going to be removed soon, or it's because Pop Culture sells Funko Shop exclusives that they're actually able to do this with that, which if that's the case and this isn't restricted shipping to Canada, I actually might be pre-ordering one of these very soon because I would actually want to get one of these, and I kind of wouldn't care in a way if it's the common or the chase, but at the same time, it'd be really cool to get that chase. Then we got Janya and Zan from Super Friends. I have no idea what Super Friends is, but I mean, the common and the chase are pretty decent. Like the chase looks really cool with the eyes and essentially the mouth with the teeth hanging out like that. I'm sure there's like a decent fan base that are going to want to get these sodas. Then we got ourselves Quake, which this is also pretty decent. You got Quake as the common, flexing his bicep there. And then you have the chase, which has the cereal box, which I think this is also, in my opinion, one of those sodas that I feel that I'd be fine with either getting the common or the chase. I wouldn't need to get a second can. And then we got Captain Carter from What If, which, speaking of What If, as we are recording this podcast, the first episode of What If launched today, which I'm not going to get into detail of the series right now because I'll probably save it for an eventual edition of What's the Haps on a Funko podcast. This is okay. I mean, it definitely makes sense for this to be metallic because of the shield, but I don't know how I feel about the outfit and the hair being metallic. I kind of find that to be a little weird for this Funko soda. It's all right. I kind of wish, once again, it was in a pose and not standing still like that. But I mean, it depends also on how much room they can do by fitting the soda figure in the can there. So I guess in that aspect, now as I think about it, is a little bit more understandable, but at the same time, it's like,
Okay, starting off with Shang-Chi. This is an underwhelming soda, to say the least. I think you nailed it by saying it looks like an OG pop where there's not really any kind of stance. Like, even if you look at the art on the can, he's kind of got his fists out, and I feel like that's kind of the pose they should have went with. Even if they just did the chase as that, it would have been better than what we got here. I guess it's not terrible because it does look pretty cool, but I think it just could have been way, way better, and it would have been easy to make it way, way better. Then Stinkor. This is really cool. This is really interesting. The common looks great. I really enjoy what that looks like. And then you have the chase, which is realistically a completely different figure because of, one, the shield missing, two, the colors are totally different. And then obviously it's scented. And I'm not quite sure, but not only do I believe this is the first ever scented soda can, like you said, this may be also the first ever time that a chase is like scented as the specification on anything that Funko's made potentially. I don't remember there ever being like a buy this pop and if you get the chase, it's scented. And if they would have done that with this and not changed the color, that kind of would have sucked because obviously, as we know, with scented pops at least, the scent runs out pretty fast. I mean, I guess you could keep this in the soda can, which would probably keep it still in the scent kind of going longer. But if you got this chase and it was just scented, let's say in 5 months from now, you basically got a common with a pog that says you got a chase. Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers. This is an all right soda. The chase is a little underwhelming just because the splatter on him is neat and I'm sure it has some relevance, but I just feel like there should be more going on with it. And I also feel like this is going to be one of those soda cans that kind of sits around on shelves, kind of like, let's say, like the Joker cans usually do that, or like Harley Quinn, I guess, is another one that you kind of see just sitting around. And I feel like it'll be the same thing with this Johnny Rico, but it's still a cool soda. Gladiator Hulk. This is cool. The common's kind of meh. The chase is really awesome. And yeah, I would assume it'd be metallic. And yeah, like, I don't know. I really love how they picked out the green and the purple for the can, but why didn't they just do a normal Hulk and then have the chase be like Red Hulk or something along those lines? I think that would have been really, really cool. And instead they went with the Thor Ragnarok version, which I don't know, isn't my favorite. I'm just so used to Hulk being a simplistic character. Then we have Baxter Stockman, and I am pumped about this soda can. Baxter Stockman was one of my favorite action figures growing up. I just really, really adored that figure. And now I get to buy a soda can, which I'm super happy about. The chase is pretty cool. I mean, in the dark, I think it's going to look really good. Obviously, it's green, and then potentially the eyes are supposed to glow red from what I'm seeing with the glam shot, at least. And I mean, if I pull the chase for this, I think I'm definitely going to have to buy another can to get the common because I definitely want the common. And then we have Bazooka Joe, and this is really cool. Obviously, I love my ad icons, and we're seeing quite a bit of them, which is good. And one thing that I wanted to point out is that I was recently going back and watching a shout out to Tristan from Top Pops, obviously, watching one of his videos recently, like an old one, and he was talking about the Bazooka Joe pop and saying how he was pretty sure that they hadn't done a figure where he was blowing a bubble. Now we have that for the chase, so I'm sure he's got to be excited about this. The chase is really cool. If you get the common, that kind of sucks because the chase is awesome. Then Steamboat Mickey. Again, you nailed it. This is one of the best ones. For some reason, it's weird. The common is great. It looks awesome. It looks just, it's simple and good. And then the chase is not a lot of difference, but it's just a good difference, I guess. The whistle blowing mouth expression is perfect for a chase. It's great. This is one where you definitely want to have both the common and the chase, in my opinion. And then we have the Wonder Twins, and these are awesome. This is again something that like I would never think of to be made, and they did it perfectly. I love the poses, how they kind of have the fists out, because if you know anything about the Wonder Twins, is that they kind of have to, they like bump fists, because I think they have a ring on or something like that, where they can turn themselves into different things, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Something that I thought was weird with this is that it says it's trademarked by DC, which I'm pretty sure, I don't know if DC might have bought out the Super Friends, but I know that Super Friends, like with the Wonder Twins, started as a Hanna-Barbera show. So that's really interesting to see. Obviously, I don't know enough about them, but these figures are really awesome. I love how the poses, you can kind of put them together and have them kind of bumping knuckles. And then the chases are awesome as well in their kind of vampire forms. I think that's really nice. I definitely want to get a few of each of these cans. Quake is pretty cool. Again, with the ad icons, that's awesome. The common's cool, where he's flexing. Obviously, he's a big guy and he wants to show off those muscles. And then the chase is just a little different, but it's awesome that he's holding the box so it could match your Quisp if you were able to pull that chase. And last but not least, we have Captain Carter. This is pretty cool. I like what the common looks like. It's a pretty decent looking common figure, but there's something about that chase, and I don't know what it is, because normally this would be one where I'm like, it's metallic, get over it. It's not that great. But I think it's something to do with the hair and maybe even the boots and the gloves, that the way the metallic works, at least for the glam shot, you can see the details in the wrinkles of everything so much better. And it really matches the art on the front of the can in that aspect.
All right, so moving on now to the last set of Funko sodas we're going to be talking about on the podcast today, which kicking off July 13th will be the FunKon exclusive soda cans that would have released last week. So kicking off, we got ourselves the Kaboom cereal, which has basically a different colorway as turns to the chase, which this was limited to 3,000 pieces and was shared to the Funko shop in the US only. Then on July 14th, Funko had announced for FunKon Masters of the Universe Funko soda cans. We got ourselves Prince Adam, which has a metallic chase and would have been shared with EB Games here in Canada and GameStop in the US and was limited to 18,000 pieces. And then we have Webstore, which has a glow-in-the-dark chase limited to 5,000 pieces and was shared to, I believe, Toy Tokyo in the US and mypops.ca here in Canada. Then July 16th, Funko continued Funko soda reveals for FunKon with Thor, which had a black light chase and was limited to 15,000 pieces. And this was shared to the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. And then Harley Quinn, which has a metallic chase and was limited to 12,000 pieces and was shared to Hot Topic in both Canada and the US. Then July 21st, Funko had announced a nice set of Funko soda figures, which we got ourselves Maleficent, which has a Flames chase, which will be limited to 15,000 pieces. Mr. Monopoly with a green glitter chase, which will be limited to 10,000 pieces. A Naruto Uzumaki from Naruto with a six-path sage chase, which will be limited to 12,500 pieces. Kirito from Sword Art Online, which has a two swords chase, which will be limited to 12,000 pieces. Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which has a red outfit chase limited to 10,000 pieces. Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go, which has a metallic chase and will be limited to 10,000 pieces. And then we got ourselves a pink variant of Ratfink with a silver chase that will be limited to 5,000 pieces. Then on August 6th, Funko had announced some sodas during Fun Day reveals, which we got ourselves Aquaman with a metallic chase, Godzilla with an electric blue glow-in-the-dark chase, Underdog with a shoe shine boy chase, Killer Clown with a black light chase, and then Popeye with a white sailor chase. And it's unknown of the limited pieces for those sodas and a release date as of yet. So kicking off with the Kaboom cereal Funko soda, which I have no idea what Kaboom cereal is, but I think that the soda figure looks pretty decent, and I like the colorway difference that they did with this Funko soda. The Masters of the Universe sodas, these are okay. I mean, I'm surprised Prince Adam was not a common soda because, of course, that is the alter ego of He-Man, or at least He-Man is his alter ego, I should say, because Prince Adam is the actual character himself. And this is all right. I felt like they could have just done a different attire and called it a day as the chase instead of metallic. And the Webster, I can only imagine how weird the glow in the dark is going to look unless you get a really good charge on it for the Webster, because blue isn't one of the greatest colors in terms of glow in the dark. Thor, once again, I am surprised they didn't make this just a normal common release and made it a Comic-Con exclusive, which was a little bit surprising. But I do like the idea of a blacklight chase because, of course, the blacklight specification is getting really super popular and people probably already own the blacklight Thor pop. So it'd be really cool to have the blacklight Thor chase for the soda and then just put it next to your blacklight Thor pop. And I think that'd be really cool if you were to obtain the chase, of course. But even the common is still pretty decent. But I know I could see people getting like 3 or 4 just to get that chase potentially. Harley Quinn, this is meh. I feel like if you get the common, you can call it a day. You don't really need to get that metallic one per se. If it was a different color for the attire, then maybe, but making it metallic was meh. You could have done better. I like the Suicide Squad variant of Harley Quinn better than this OG variant as terms of the soda. Maleficent, this is pretty decent. I don't know if this soda is also going to be glow in the dark because of the flames, or it's just going to be the flames added to it. But overall, this is a really detailed Funko soda. Mr. Monopoly Man. Now, if I'm not mistaken, besides the Masters of the Universe, which technically is now in this lineup, I think Mr. Monopoly Man is the first Retro Toys Funko soda figure. I could be wrong, but I can't remember exactly any other Retro Toys Funko soda figures. But it's cool that if this is the first one, then Mr. Monopoly Man is a great one to kick off with. I don't know how I feel about the chase, though. I think it'd be pretty decent, but I'm trying to think of the significance of where this would come to play as terms to the Monopoly game, whether it was a piece or not. Naruto Uzumaki. This is pretty decent. Not surprised that they made a Naruto chase. Definitely makes sense. And the Six Path Sage chase definitely makes sense because they've done the Hot Topic exclusive pop. Then we got Kurita, which I think this was an example I was trying to think of those like random sodas to like start out with like certain things, like for animation or anime more specifically. Like they've made a couple of My Hero Academias. They did Naruto just now, and now you have Sword Art Online. Like I'm surprised they have yet to make a Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super Funko soda before they made a Sword Art Online or something else as terms to anime. I think that it's a little weird, and I feel the soda like chase, it's not really appealing to me. It probably has some sort of significance to Sword Art Online, but it's just not my cup of tea. I don't think I'm going to be getting this. Then we got Casey Jones from TMNT, which this is pretty decent, honestly. I love the colorway change in terms of the chase, but not only that, you do have a different weapon in the hands of Casey Jones for each the common and the chase. You have the common with the hockey stick, and then you have the baseball bat for the chase. And I think there's also a slight difference with the mask too, as terms of the color. Like it's more grayish for the common and then bright white for the chase, which I think this is decent. And once again, for sure, MD will definitely be one to get a few of these to obtain that chase, most likely. Beast Boy, this is okay. I don't know what to say because you look at the canyon, you look at Beast Boy, and all of a sudden you got like Beast Boy with sideburns. I don't know. It's just me though. I kind of feel eh. And then making it metallic is also meh. Like, I don't know. I'm a little iffy on this soda. Then you got Ratfink, which I'm a fan of what Ratfink's been doing with the Funko sodas. Like, I like the original one and how that looks. And then you had that, I think it was like black chase. And then now you have a pink one. And then you have the silver chase, which once again, the common is definitely better than the chase. And I really am enjoying this colorway as terms to Ratfink. I think the pink and the green turn out very well together, surprisingly. And then we have the Fundays announcements, which, I mean, if you guys were thinking about when I was mentioning there was only 6 announcements last week as terms of pops, we weren't including the Fundays announcements because we know that Funko is going to re-announce those pops eventually and then adding more pops than what they had announced. So there's no point in talking about them at this point because trust me, I am dying to talk about Jingle All the Way pops on this podcast. But the sodas, though, we don't know the next time we're going to be talking about the sodas anyway. So Aquaman, this is okay. I'm not surprised they made a metallic chase because that seems like the trend they're doing with a lot of these like classic DC or even Marvel characters per se, where you just make this mold and then you make it a metallic chase. There's nothing really too appealing to where I want to get more than one can. The Godzilla, though, is pretty sweet. I do like the chase better than the common. I love that electric blue, as Brian Mariotti called it. It's still a cool soda. A lot of people I know are going to get this. Then we got Underdog with the Shoe Nice Boy Chase, which, what?
you, you called the chase Shoe Nice.
Oh, Shoe Nice. Hey guys, shoe dice here. I'm gonna eat a roll of toilet paper. Oh man, I can't. Yeah, now as I realize I did say shoe nice. Oh, if anybody remembers that, I meant to say shoe shine chase. Okay, I'll say it more slowly. Shoe shine boy as the chase. I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to get both the common and the chase. I think I love the idea of them switching it up because easily they probably would have made it like a flock chase realistically. So making it like this, and from what Brian Mariotti said, it is the alter ego of Underdog, is really cool. So I think a lot of people are going to want to get this. Then we have the Killer Clown Funko soda. They didn't specifically say a name. I know there's a specific name, but I can't exactly remember what the name is, but they just wrote Killer Clown. This is actually pretty cool. I like the idea that they made it a blacklight chase because of the different colors already involved with the common. I can only imagine how great the blacklight's going to look on this, especially with those colors popping off of the base color of black and that dark purple, which of course I could definitely see MD wanting to get the chase of this because of it being purple. And then we have Popeye. Popeye is pretty cool. I like the difference in the common and the chase. Of course, people are going to want to get that common because he's got the can of spinach, but he also has the chase where he has the twirly arm and he's in the sailor outfit, which is still really sweet. These are chases that I enjoy seeing from Funko sodas, not like Shang-Chi and freaking all the other sodas. They decide, hey, let's just make it a metallic chase off of the already existing mold for the common. These are chases I like to see, like these ones for Fun Day reveals.
Kaboom cereal as a Funko soda. This is very interesting because we haven't seen a pop from Kaboom cereal and we're seeing the soda first, which is something that we don't really generally see with Funko. I mean, almost every single almost every single soda we've talked about so far ever really has been a pop first, and Kaboom hasn't been. So it's pretty interesting. I might pick one up. I don't really like the chase that much, but I do like how that common looks. Then we have the Prince John, which I love. I really want to pick one of these up. Whether I get the common or the chase doesn't really matter to me. I just want to get one of these cans. Webster's pretty cool, but I feel like the chase isn't going to look that great, especially considering it's kind of that weird dark blue color that just won't light up very well. Thor is pretty neat. I'm glad that they went with the kind of classic version of Thor, and the blacklight looks really, really cool. I love how they go with that kind of orange color along the cheekbones, which really makes the jawline pop out, and I feel like this is going to look awesome. I would love to get one of these, but I doubt that's going to end up happening. Harley Quinn is decent. The chase is all right. It's metallic and it's not bad, but I think the common looks pretty cool. Maleficent, the common looks great. This is a really nice looking soda figure. And then the chase is awesome. And this is one of those times where you don't really see this too often, if ever. I don't remember ever seeing something like this where the common and the chase are almost exactly the same thing, but there's stuff added to it rather than being changed, which is pretty cool. And it doesn't say it's glow in the dark, but let's hope it is, because that would make this chase figure really awesome. Mr. Monopoly. This is cool. The head, it's kind of weird because he has such a round head, and then they kind of unround it a little bit for this figure. Whereas with the pop, the head kind of still stays pretty round, so that looked really good. Where with this, it's kind of weird, but I also still love this figure. And the chase is interesting. I feel like they went with the green chase like that because of the money aspect, because money, at least in America, is green. Only our $20 bill here in Canada is green. So I think that's why they went with it. I don't know why they didn't just go with like the jail version of Mr. Monopoly or some other kind of pose or something. The color change with this is very weird to me. Then Naruto. This is really cool. I could see this selling very, very well. And that chase is awesome. Even though it is just one color, Six Path Sage is definitely going to be something that a lot of collectors are going to want to get their hands on. And then, yeah, I agree with what you said. It's weird that we're seeing a soda for Sword Art Online. Not disappointed, though, because I do like the show. But there's another show that I like better, and you did mention that, and that's Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super. Why haven't they made the sodas? I don't know, because they could easily do a Goku, a Vegeta, a Master Roshi, and let's say Bulma, and those would sell very, very well, but they haven't. And I don't know if maybe it's a licensing issue where they have to get the licensing to make sodas, because probably in their contract, let's call it, it's probably just for pops, I would assume. So that could be the only thing I could think of, but it also shouldn't be very hard to get that license considering they already have the license for the pops. But this figure's pretty cool. The chase is not very different from the common. You just get the kind of extra sword, but at the same time, I feel like some hardcore fans of sword are definitely going to need that chase in their collection. Casey Jones. This is unreal. I love it so much. Like I said with the Baxter Stockman, that was one of my favorite action figures as a kid growing up. Casey Jones was arguably my favorite action figure as a kid growing up. He was always one that I was playing with. He was always the one, we'll say, kicking ass and winning and being the good guy. There was just something about Casey Jones when I was little, and I loved that OG action figure. And this is exactly like that. And I love how he has the goalie stick in the common. I love the colorway for that. I think that's a really, really nice soda figure. And then the chase is also very cool. I also like it. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about, do I need that chase or do I just pull a common and be happy with it? And I'm still not exactly sure, but I love Casey Jones and I love how both these sodas turned out. Then we have Beast Boy, and it's got to be something about Teen Titans Go, and it's not the OG Teen Titans that we all love. He's ugly. I think it's just due to character design with the show. I don't think it's a flaw on Funko's part at all. It's just not great. The chase is okay. The metallic looks better, in my opinion, than the non-metallic in the common, but that's really all it's got going for it. Ratfink. This is cool. I love the pink and the green. They really complement each other pretty nicely. And then the silver chase makes a lot of sense because that's kind of what we've been seeing from a lot of the Funko Ratfink products. So overall, this is a solid can. Aquaman, this is all right. The metallic is decent, but I feel like there could have been a lot of different things they could have done other than metallic. They could have went with maybe like a different pose. I think even would have been cooler than just the metallic. Godzilla's pretty nice. I like both versions, and I feel like a lot of people are going to want both versions rather than one or the other because they're so different, even though they are kind of similar. Underdog is really cool, and the Shoeshine Boy is also really nice. I love how different the chase is from the common, and I feel like, again, this is one where a lot of people are going to want both versions rather than just one or the other. The Killer Clown, this is pretty cool. I like how the common looks. It's very interesting. And then the chase is the Blacklight, and honestly, I didn't even realize it was Blacklight, which I don't know how, because this kind of screams Blacklight considering how the dark background of the kind of wardrobe is with the stars poking out. This is going to be a really awesome Blacklight figure. I honestly don't know how I didn't realize. I thought it was just a weird color swap. But overall, I think it's going to be great. And I honestly think that this is going to be one of those chases that ends up being worth like $150 and stays at that price for a while. And then we have Popeye the Sailor Man. Before I kind of talk about what's going on with this figure, I want to say that this may be my favorite soda can of all time. This is just one of the best I've seen ever. I really, really, really enjoy this figure. And this is one where I don't think I have any other option than to find a full case, whether I buy it from, let's say, a reseller, or if I can find 6 cans in the wild that I know is a full case, I'm going to be doing that because, one, the common is awesome. I mean, you got the spinach, you got that classic Popeye look. So cool. And then you have the chase with the white outfit with the twisted up arm, which is so nice. They're so different. The hats are different. The pose is significantly different from each other. And obviously the outfit in its entirety is different. I don't mind having extra commons because, one, my dad is a huge fan of Popeye. He has a Popeye tattoo on his body, for Christ's sake. So he will definitely want one of these figures. I need both of these. This is definitely probably my favorite chase, or not chase, but my favorite soda can of all time.
All right, guys. So that is going to be the end of this week's edition of a Funko Popcast. If you enjoyed this second Funko Soda edition of a Funko Popcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let us know about any of the Funko Sodas we talked about today that you are planning on getting or may already have. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future. and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Podcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this edition of A Funko Podcast, and we hope to see you guys next week on A Funko Podcast episode 104, where we talk about the first set of August 2021 pops, kicking off with Oscar de la Hoya. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of Funko soda can. Peace in, peace out.